Okay, everybody. Well, I'm making this video just shy of a week since it actually happened. But yeah, that's Bella, right? You see it right there. The Long Island house has officially sold. Closing actually happened this past Friday, actually. And, my parents told me all about it. It was going to go through. So basically, what happened was I was at work, and the closing happened within the afternoon. The lawyers were there and everything, and then when I got home from work, my parents were home, and they said it's all done. That's it. Now, I actually didn't really feel as bad as I thought I was going to. When this first happened. I had a feeling that when the house first sold, I was going to be like really teary eyed, like I was in my video about 2017 when I mentioned about the move and everything. But, kind of like Jay and other people told me, once I move here and I'm all set, I'm not going to feel as bad as stuff from Long Island. And honestly, he was right. I really don't feel anywhere near as bad as I thought I would. And but that's not to say I don't think it was dumb for me to feel the way I did initially, because when you're moving from a house that you've been in for so many years, it's always that initial feeling you kind of have to get past. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when closing happened, I'm like, wow, that's it. Like that house no longer belongs to us. It's all theirs now. But let me see. So yeah, so I do still think about it every now and then. Of course, I'm thinking like, I hope they're going to take good care of the pool, like I did. Where are they gonna change the house around? This and that. And I actually made in that video I made of my final day on Long Island. I did mention that a lot in that video. I was thinking about what's going to happen to the house. Are they going to change it around? And I mentioned that stuff. And nowadays, I don't really have as much as a or I mean, that's not as much as of a concern for me as it used to be. So probably because I've accepted the fact that I'm here and I'm happy now, and it just took a little bit of time. I think what made it a little bit easier, to be honest, is that I lived here for a while before this closing actually happened. So I think that time adjustment, if that's the right term to use, was really what I needed the most for this whole thing. So, obviously I feel different about it than my parents do because, understandably so for them, that was a huge burden for the longest time because the house was on the market for so long and they just wanted it to sell. And, it finally did. And for my dad especially, he's so relieved that it's over, it's done with, and it's theirs now. So, and it's a good thing. And honestly, some of you may remember I made a video about when I first went back there, how after I moved, how I realized that I accepted where I was now, and I realized that it was time for a new family to have that house, and now it does. So, all things considered, I'm really glad it does have new life now. I think it is where it needed. Even though we took very good care of the house, we kept it top of the line maintained, things like that. It's just a point where it's like, yeah, it's time for, like I said, another family. And for the longest time there were only three people living in that house: myself, my mom, and my dad. And that house is just too big for three people. It really was. So once I spent some time here and I went back to there, that's when I was like, yeah, this house really is huge. Like, wow. And again, it's just things that you naturally have to get used to when you go from one place to another. So let's see what I want to say here. Yeah, so the people who moved there, I'm not going to give any information on where they work or anything, but it's a husband and wife, and they have, I believe, one or two kids. So really, that house is perfect for them. I even said in one of my videos, I don't remember which one, that if it's a family with a kid or they plan to have more kids, that's the perfect kind of house for them. And really, I think they the good type of family is there. So I kind of feel good about that too. Now, I'm sure some of you are probably going to leave a comment about, what's going to happen with the whirlpools and things like that. Well, when my mom set everything up or talked to the person, whatever, the future buyer, well, now the current buyer, said, he wanted to keep the whirlpools, he wanted to keep those machines there. So I have some faith that he'll keep them for a while. because that was the thing when they said that they want them. It's out of my hands. I got to leave them there. So that's what I did. Now, um, I mean, all things considered, the machine should do okay because in 2016 the dryer got new drum rollers, a new tensioner pulley, and a new belt all around the same time. So that should be good for a while. Now the washer is still on its original motor coupling, which is like 29 years old now. But I do have a replacement in the cabinet just above it, and I had mentioned that on like a note or something. So I mean, all things considered, that should go okay. And I think it's the best it's going to get, guys. You know what I'm saying? A while back, I was talking to Jay on the phone, and I had mentioned that I kind of realized that, like, don't get me wrong, I love those machines a lot, but after living here for a while, I kind of not minded not having them as much anymore. Now that could simply be because we got the good Speed Queens, you know what I'm saying? So we still have good laundry machines that just do what they're supposed to. So maybe that's why. I mean, I still like them, but I don't feel as bad as I used to not having them anymore. Okay, that could just be a natural thing. I'm really not sure, but um, you know, all things considered, I think things should be okay. Again, once he wanted to keep them, so it was out of my hands. But I am, like I said, I am glad that house has new life now. Um, I think everything will be good there. They have a kid, and they'll have a pool. Obviously, we gave him all our numbers. We gave him of the sprinkler guy, the HVAC guy, and someone else. I can't quite remember what he does, but those are really the best people you can have. So I mean, that's all good and everything. So, admittedly, when my folks had said that the closing was definite, I had given them my old garage door opener and my house key. So that was kind of a weird feeling, if anything, out of everything else to say the least. I will give you guys one update on the Long Island house, though. In my garage door opener videos, I had mentioned to you that they have DC motor Genie accelerators. Well, apparently, at some point, I think last year, the circuit board for the single door, the smaller door, had actually failed. And my dad tried to get it repaired or replaced, but it was a no-go. So it actually got replaced with a LiftMaster belt drive motor that's AC motor. So one of the doors actually now has a humming garage door opener again. Obviously, the door doesn't open twice as fast anymore like the Genie accelerator does, but just the fact that just to hear that garage with an AC motor opener again on one of the doors, I was just like, that is fantastic. I'm just so happy to hear that again. And they actually did use the opener arm. They used the one from the Genie and put it on the LiftMaster. It works fine. So that was just kind of cool to see when we were going there and cleaning stuff out. And like I said, I really don't feel bad that the house sold. I do feel good overall that, again, there's a family in there with a kid or two, and they're probably going to have more. So it's the best case scenario for that house. It really is. And if they do end up changing the house around, like they change the exterior or whatever, I don't feel as bad about that as I thought I would. You know what I'm saying? I've accepted it, like I've said in other videos. So, that's just what happens because, like I said, it's their house now. However they want it to look, it's up to them now. And again, I've come to terms with that. So it'd be kind of weird if I was to go back to the house and just see it all changed. But again, it's all up to them now. So, and plus, we have a ton of pictures from our old film camera over the years ago that we can always look at for memory's sake and things like that. So, we always have things like those to fall back on. So it's pretty good. Well, I guess that's basically about it, guys. Not really too long of a video, but again, when the closing happened, I was just more or less like, well, that's it. It's their house now. It's no longer ours. And I was kind of proud of myself just the sake that I had that attitude instead of just being all worried, all sad. I mean, it was still a little sad, just because, again, childhood home and things like that. But again, like I said, we have so many pictures and photos, whatever, to remember the house. And really that's the best that it can be. I've said best several times, but I don't know what other term to use. So yeah, it's basically it. So anyway, guys, there you have it. This is just our house now. Long Island house is sold. New life. Definitely a good family, and hopefully everything goes well for them. And wishing them the best for there, definitely. So, thank you very much for watching, and take care.